Every shade plants a seed.
Good afternoon, our viewers. My name is Jared Donyango, and welcome to our program today. Today we are going to have our guest who is going to tell us more about his education background and maybe his project that he is currently tackling. Thank you so much for agreeing to speak with us, and kindly you can introduce yourself to our viewers so that they may know you.
I'm Fabian Wanyama. I'm a teacher of geography and business studies, and I'm also a writer. I write books. Majorly, the topic is astrophysics, and I'm also a researcher. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. As you have heard, he's a writer, and he's also a researcher. And today maybe we shall be tackling much about his project, whereby we shall be seeing maybe what has he written, the challenges and things that arose. So maybe to begin with, maybe Fabian, tell us your full name and where you come from.
Okay, I go by the name Fabian Wanyama. I come from Kakamega County, basically Mias. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Fabian. So Kakamega is the original home, where you were born.
Yeah.
That is Western. Thank you so much. And what was your childhood like?
Childhood, I remember when I was a child, the behavior that I have right now, I still had it when I was a child, and the greatest impact was for my parents, and the greatest effect also came hand in hand or directly to my parents, because I was a curious person when I was still a child. I was inquisitive, and I used to do a lot of research. So most of the resources that I used were the resources that were bought by my parents. And imagine someone who's curious to know something. When I was still a child, I used to ask myself a lot of questions, like just to be curious to know, like how a radio works. And you'll find me deciding to look at it and then opening the whole radio, dismantling everything to see who speaks in that radio. And you realize that the losses went directly to my parents. So that's my childhood. And the inquisitiveness and the curiosity, I still have it till now, and I still appreciate that it is bearing fruits. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. So you can say that you started being curious at an early age.
Yes.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And maybe to ask you, what influenced you most of your parents?
Okay, the greatest influence was my parents and the environment around me. That's what shaped me. That's what took me to this level, because basically I used to look at the environment around me, and then also my parents, because they used to insist that in this world you need to do something unique, and that uniqueness will only come if you seek knowledge. And that's when I started seeking knowledge, when I was still very small. Until now I'm still seeking knowledge. Yeah.
Fabian, maybe just to take you back, you said that you were curious from the beginning.
Yeah.
So you've been growing with curiosity in you. When did you first become curious about the nature and the world?
I can say curiosity about the nature started when I was still a child. Yeah. Unfortunately, I did not have enough resources to do much research about it, but the curiosity began when I was still very young. I remember the day I used to ask myself how trees grow, actually, where the matter comes from, because a tree will be small and you realize that after a given period of time it grows. So where do the matter of that tree come from? How does it grow? All these processes. And remember, when I was still young in primary, this complex subjects were not taught in primary, so I did not have answers to those questions by then. And then the curiosities grew, of course, but basically that's where I came from.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe to ask you again, was there a moment that changed how you saw the world?
Yeah, sometimes things happened and I used to view the world in a different way. Because remember, in this world, the only thing that differentiates a human being and a dead thing is there's something that's always against your belief. when you believe something, there will always be something that will trigger you to ask yourself again, is this what I believe right or wrong? So I remember I used to believe that because when you were still young, of course, I never knew a lot of things, and I just had a basic understanding that the world is flat, such things. But due to geography, of course, I further came to realize that I was wrong at some point. And
Yeah, Fabian. Since you said that you are a researcher, you are a writer, I want to hope that there are projects that you have been already started doing. So what projects have you worked on so far?
so far, as I just said earlier, I started doing research in first year.
Yeah.
And those research, of course, at the end of the research, I usually publish a book. And in first year, I think during the completion, I wrote a book entitled Aliens. That was my first project. Aliens. That was my first project, my first research. And then after that, I did another research. But through that research on aliens, I realized that I had a story about the Maury Island. So I wrote another book on the Maury Island. That was my second book. I published while I'm in campus, of course, my second year of study. And then last year I published a book on visitors in shadow. And then lastly, right now, of course, God willing, next month, or rather this month, 22nd, I have a book launch on the stellar time illusion paradox. That's a paradox that I came up with, and I would like to publish to share with the fellow scientists on how the universe is going. Yeah.
That is actually awesome to hear your progress, and it's so encouraging. And which projects are you most proud of, and why? That's about it.
I'm actually proud of the first project, my first project, because the reason why I'm very proud of that project is because I started when I was still in high school, and I had started it due to lack of resources. Remember, in high school, I did not have enough time, I did not have enough resources, and the libraries in our school, of course, just around the subjects we are taught. It's not beyond that curriculum, so I did not have enough. So when I came here, I started doing research. I delved in more of research. Anytime I was free, delved in research. Did as much as I could to ensure that I fetched information. And what I can say, the very main reason why I'm very happy and I feel very satiated with that project is because it was a success. And that book I wrote on aliens, it has been, in fact, it's the most read book so far because I posted it on Bookemon, on Amazon Kindle, and that book was loved by a lot of people. It was bought by a lot of people, and it had a nice experience. Even if I read it myself, I feel like I wrote something. Like I feel it's actually satiating.
Yeah. And how have these projects shaped your thinking?
Through my project, every single day I finish a project, I usually say I don't know anything.
Wow.
Every time I finish a project, I say I don't know. I know nothing. I need to know something.
You need to know something.
Because you finish a project, you realize, oh, there's something I'm supposed to know. This is not the end. There's something I need to know. The moment you finish that, there's something that I'm supposed to know. So every day you always say I know nothing. What I can say, the only thing that I know is that I know nothing. That's the thing I know. Despite the fact that I've written all these things, but I still know nothing. I still have to fetch more data, more information, and read more books.
Yes. So in simple terms, maybe for our viewers understanding, how are they shaping you? Because
so they are giving me,
yeah,
they are shaping my mentality and my thinking.
Yeah.
I'm always growing in terms of reasoning, because of course if you read more books, it shapes your reasoning. There's something it instills in your mind, in that you actually, your mind is always curious to know something, and your mind is always comfortable with doing research and reading. So it has shaped my mind in that my mind is always thinking of what next. What should I do next?
Yes, thank you so much. And as we finalize with our talk today, What lesson have you learned so far in your journey?
In my journey, there's one major thing I've learned, and I always tell everybody if I find time, and I won't cease from saying it today. In this world, people or anybody can easily determine your diagnosis, but God determines your prognosis. So a person can see you and say this person is like this and like this. It doesn't matter. God is the one who determines where you'll end at the end of the day. Because when I started writing, no one loved my books actually. In fact, no one read. No one read. Because someone will ask, why would you write such a thing from nowhere? What do you know? But I did not stop because someone said. I did not stop because someone did not. In fact, I don't write books for people to actually, for financial benefit. I don't write books because I want someone to justify. I don't write books because I want someone to like or dislike. But if you have something you feel it is of great importance, and you will really feel to critique my work and my books, it's well and good. But it does not shape how I'm going to do the next, or rather how I'm going to approach the next step. So that's why I could plainly say that a man can determine your diagnosis, but God determines your prognosis.
Okay. And what keeps you going when things get tough in your life?
When things get tough,
Yeah.
I mostly spend time alone. When I see something is not right, I will just go somewhere I am sure there's no one, and I'll tell myself, this world you are just me. I'll just go somewhere where I'm just alone, silent place, no one is there. I leave my phone, everything I leave it behind, and I'll ask myself, why should you give up? This world you are just alone. You're the only person who is supposed to try. You're the one who is supposed to justify. You are the one who is supposed to create your future. You are the one with your destiny is in your hands. Because when I was in high school, a teacher used to tell me that the pen is always in your hands, but what you write is upon you. Your life is like an egg in your hands. You are either to keep it or drop it. So when I'm in such a situation where I'm now asking myself what next, how is my life, where is my life heading to, I will tell myself, I still have a long way to go, and in this way I am alone. I'm the one who is supposed to create the way. I'm the one who is supposed to develop the destiny. Therefore, I'm just the one. And therefore I sit down and say, no giving up. You are just the only one. Go. If you have failed, go. Assess the problem, assess the situation, come up again strong and brighter.
Yeah, so that's how you always manage, by having your own space, facing your mind.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. It has been Brother Fabian explaining to us his journey, the way he started up to where he is, and we are so proud to have you today in our studios, and we are still wishing you all the best. It has been the first episode. Maybe just to tell our viewers, what should they expect in our next episode? Maybe
Next episode will be sharing about my spiritual journey and how that spiritual journey shaped my career until now, and then maybe some of the books I wrote and what is entailed in those books, just a highlight of what I wrote in those books, so that if in case they can have a curiosity of reading them, they can find them online, or I can provide them with the book.
So thank you so much. I've been your host, Jared Onyango. See you next.